Welcome everyone to 284 News. My name is Javon Wilson.
I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant.
And we are so thrilled and happy to be coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. The content continues via our website, 284media.com. In today's news, vaccine certifications can now be accessed online in the BVI.
And an estimated 300 cruise calls slated for the BVI during the 2021 to 2022 season, and cruise partners confirms calls up to 2024.
Good news. Virgin Gorda woman receives a new home, compliments of the housing program.
And regular vehicle inspection and checkout sanitization stations for cruise ship taxi operators implemented following concerns raised by parents. And we also see VG Bayside Blazers are the men's National District League basketball champions, while controversy leads to junior skillful ballers being awarded junior championships. We get to these and more stories when 284 News returns.
You value traditions.
Today,
You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. I'm Kamal Haynes.
And my name is Javon Wilson, here, of course, with another dose of 284 News out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Now, topping our headlines today, we see things continuing to heat up regarding the COI. Now, just yesterday, we saw Premier of the Virgin Islands, Honorable Foy, once again raising concerns about the COI's broad terms of reference. That is, of course, according to the Premier. Premier Foy said that the terms are too wide, allowing for the COI to dive into basically any law to investigate consistencies or inconsistencies, when in fact that was not initially laid out. He's very concerned about the long-term ramifications on the territory's leadership as well as reputation. Honorable Foy said, and I quote, "There is no government that could survive a commission of inquiry and come out unblemished with the terms of reference like what you've been given. None." End of quote. Now, viewers, the government's attorney as well, Mr. Jeffrey Cox, also supported the Premier's statement, adding at yesterday's COI, and I quote, "The governor has sat in cabinet for 20 to 30 years, seeing these decisions go past him. What have they done until last year when they were called in the midst of a quite bitter and heated dispute between the governor and the Premier?" End of quote. Now, viewers, of course, we'll continue to bring you updates, but for now, we're going to head straight into our newscast for today. A digital platform was launched just 2 days ago to make verification of vaccination status easy and accessible. The National COVID Digital Platform, BVI DigiCert, was launched by the Ministry of Health and Social Development in collaboration with the Department of Information Technology, and will allow persons who are partially or fully vaccinated for COVID-19 access at www.bvivaccinate.vg. Now, viewers, Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Ronald Georges said that the aim of the BVI DigiCert is to provide residents of the British Virgin Islands with a digital COVID-19 vaccine certificate, which will be accessible anytime or any place, and reduce the likelihood of fraud and impersonation. Now, Dr. Georges said the platform is linked to an official government server, making it accessible and verifiable using a barcode or a QR code. Dr. Georges, which of course is our acting CMO, said, and I quote, "Starting today, persons requiring vaccination authorization letters for travel can use the website to submit their applications. The applicant will have to ensure that they have their passports as well as vaccination cards handy, of course, to complete that registration form." That was Dr. Georges. He also added, "We wanted to streamline the process and make it easier for persons who need authorization letters to access the system. Persons will have to create a user account and answer vital questions to complete that process." Now, viewers, the service is free and certificates will be valid for 6 months and can be renewed using the same process thereafter. Of course, this is another step by the government of the Virgin Islands to improve the health and safety of the people of the Virgin Islands. And of course, Kamal, this will extend to the benefits of, I think, travelers in general, residents and tourists alike. I think as we go through this pandemic, it's one of the key transitions we've noted is the importance of doing as much as we can online, especially since we are looking at a cashless system, a touchless system to, of course, deter infections throughout the territory. So we're very happy to see the government taking this and really taking advantage of technology to ensure that we have better systems in place for travel.
And one person should also pay special attention to is the 6-month duration. You don't want to go and just sign up for it for just signing up sake, and then it expires before they want to travel. So also to know that, viewers. Well, viewers, moving on, nearly 300 cruise calls are expected for the British Virgin Islands in the 2021 to 2022 tourism season. Well, this is according to the Junior Minister for Tourism, Shari De Castro, who made a comments during a recent tourism update to the territory. While she said this development stems from the recent Sea Trade Cruise Global 2021 meeting in Miami, Florida, which was led by Premier Andrew Foy and consisted of a delegation from the BVI. But De Castro explained that the plans brought forth by members of the delegation during the meeting were met with success as the cruise line stakeholders expressed great interest in the territory, which extends over the next 3 years.
I can confidently report that our operations plan was met favorably, and cruise lines also indicated that interest in the BVI as a destination remained high. As such, during the meetings at Sea Trade, our cruise partners confirmed a total of 176 calls to BVI beginning October 13th, 2021 up until 2024. This confirmation indicates that the cruise industry is confident in our ability as a territory to deliver a safe and excellent cruise product for their guests. These additional calls represent most of our major cruise lines, such as Disney, Carnival, and Royal Caribbean. The territory can expect a total of 299 calls, with 193 at the cruise pier for the 2021-2022 season, with a projected increase the following season.
Well, viewers, the junior minister said that the success of the meeting resulted from a team effort by all members of the delegation who stuck to the plan and did what was necessary to gain the intended result. Well, she highlighted the importance of having cruise ships return to the territory since it contributes some $70 million to the BVI's economy.
It is also important to note that prior to discussions with any of our cruise partners, we wanted to ensure that the team was clear of each objective. As such, we were strategic and deliberate to ensure briefing meetings were held with the delegation every morning so that we were all on the same page, and debriefings followed at the end of each day to evaluate all that was discussed. As a delegation, we wanted to ensure that every area was considered, every potential issue addressed, and that we were prepared to take advantage of any opportunity presented. I would like to thank the Premier for his leadership on this very vital sector, and I also recognize the hard work of all the different agencies that contributed significantly in getting us to this point that we are at today. Additionally, our representation was key, as I believe it was important for us to demonstrate the territory's desire and commitment to welcome our cruise partners back to the BVI.
Well, the territorial at-large representative also took the time to thank Premier Andrew Foy for his leadership during the meeting, along with some of the other agencies which she said contributed significantly to the BVI reaching their intended goal. Well, Jovan, this is some very good news for the territory, considering that, despite being in the midst of a pandemic, we were blessed with such a reward after tough negotiation from the delegation, obviously led by Premier Andrew Foy, which goes to show that, they're still doing some stuff to help to benefit the territory.
Absolutely, and for such an important pillar, tourism being a twin pillar, right, parallel to the financial services industry, clearly we see that the financial services industry wasn't as affected, but COVID-19 definitely took a hit on tourism, particularly in the sailing industry. I'm very happy to see us securing partnership up until 2024. But I think, again, it begins to reiterate the beauty of our tourism product, the resilience of our tourism product, and the fact that once our doors are open, people are going to come. I know the Premier, sometime within last year or the year before, also met with certain officials from the industry that really were calling for the BVI to be a bit more cultural in its offerings. And I know the Premier has taken this seriously, and I'm really happy to see all that's been going into this to ensure that tourists come back to our shores. Viewers, up next, regular vehicle inspection and checkout sanitation stations for cruise ship taxi operators implemented following concerns raised by parents. And good news, a Virgin Gorda woman is the newest recipient of a home under the Housing Recovery Assistance Program. We have all the details for this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, taxi operators are to undergo regular vehicle inspection and sanitization following cruise ship passenger trips and will also have to undergo bi-weekly testing as part of the protocol to safeguard residents who utilize these services. Well, this is according to Junior Minister for Tourism, Shari De Castro, who said that these recent stipulations were administered following concerns raised by parents of children who usually utilize taxi services. Well, she said following the outcry, the Taxi and Livery Commission, along with the BVI Tourist Board and the Environmental Health Department, collaborated to launch this initiative as a solution to the raised concerns.
This government is also mindful that our greatest resource is our people. A number of parents have expressed concerns with respect to the transportation segment, as independent taxi operators are likely to provide service to cruise passengers and the public alike, especially our school children. Therefore, in order to ensure the greatest level of care and safety, the Taxi and Livery Commission, in conjunction with the BVI Tourist Board and the Environmental Health Department, will also be hosting a series of sanitization and disinfection customer service training, which would constitute as cruise certification for public transport operators. Also, operators are required to agree to bi-weekly testing as well as other requirements stipulated by the BVI Tourist Board, which would deem them to be cruise certified.
Well, De Castro also said that there will be a checkout system in place for all taxi operators who will be transporting tourists as a measure of an extra precaution to protect residents in the territory.
To manage the safe reintegration of transportation into society after providing cruise passenger transport, public transport operators are expected to check out by stopping at a sanitization and disinfection station managed by the Taxi and Livery Commission and the Environmental Health Department. After the sanitization and disinfection requirements, the vehicles will be inspected, relevant information logged, and public transport operators will be officially discharged. This has been implemented to address any health and safety concerns, particularly from parents.
Well, in the meantime, the joint agencies also appeal to taxi operators to get Gold Seal certified through a number of hospitality training sessions which were held across the territory over the last 2 days. While on Tortola, there were several training sessions at the Marias by the Sea on Monday from 9:30 a.m. up until 2:45 p.m., while on Virgin Gorda, the sessions were held at the Catholic Community Center at 7 p.m. Where earlier around midday today, a session was held at Foxy's Bar and Grill on Joss Van Dyke, while a virtual training session is slated for 7 p.m. this evening, where the link will be provided to all interested parties. Well, Minister De Castro appealed to those taxi operators to attend these sessions.
In the coming days, the BVI Tourist Board will be providing information with respect to hospitality training, which includes a COVID-19 training component. As such, I'm appealing to all relevant businesses to make every effort to participate. Businesses wishing to do so can contact the BVI Tourist Board directly for additional information. The goal, of course, is to ensure that businesses which serve the tourism industry are fully prepared to operate in a safe environment.
Well, viewers, the junior minister said that these safety measures will be in addition to the existing COVID-19 public transportation guide. Well, Javon, here again, we see the government putting these measures in place. You know, obviously, we're welcoming back tourists from the cruise line industry back in the territory. And as she would have said, obviously, parents would have raised these concerns. Okay, well, my child still have to go to school. It will be these same taxi operators that will be transporting my child. So government took the initiative basically to put plans in place basically to ensure that, you know, COVID isn't transferred, you know, God forbid, you know, to these innocent children and other persons utilizing these services.
And it's important because I think one of the mammoth tasks that government has at this point is, yes, we want to be able to, and we've been hearing it, the importance of balancing lives with livelihoods. Yes, we want to be able to open the borders and welcome back to our shores those tourist dollars that will really supplement the economy, but we have to at the same time be very mindful of protecting the lives of our people who live on the island. And so I'm very happy to see, because, you know, it is cultural, it's something that we're accustomed to seeing our taxi operators going from the cruise ships, of course, going to uplift our students in the afternoon and sometimes returning to the very cruise ships. We want to ensure that not only that our children, our tourists are safe, but also the taxi operators as well, who too have to go back to their families. So I'm very happy to see the requisite protocols being put in place and really being prioritized by the government by way of the Junior Minister of Tourism, Honorable Shari De Castro. Now, viewers, as we move on, good news coming out of our sister islands. Virgin Gorda resident Mrs. Judy Ann Stevens has received the keys to a newly built home as part of the Housing Recovery Assistance Program. Now, viewers, the keys were presented by Minister for Health and Social Development, Honorable Carvin Malone, Minister for Natural Resources, Labor, Immigration, Honorable Vincent Whitley, along with the Deputy Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Social Development, Mr. Greg Massacott, on October 5th. Honorable Malone expressed satisfaction, stating, and I quote, "On behalf of the Ministry of Health and Social Development, I would like to say that we will continue to do whatever is necessary to get people into their homes, get their homes repaired and rebuilt, and making sure that whatever the government can do within its means, that we can make the process as efficient as possible." End of quote. Now, viewers, we also heard from the district representative, Honorable Vincent Whitley, who is also the Minister of Immigration, Natural Resources, and Labor. He said that he was very grateful to the Ministry of Health to be able to turn over one more in the 9th district. He said, and I quote, "It shows that no district is being left behind. Since the hurricanes of 2017, we had so many homes destroyed. So many persons had to go to bed wondering or hoping it doesn't rain. Again, we want persons to be patient. We are going to get there, however, slowly. But we give thanks, and I am happy for Ms. Stevens, who has waited 3.5 years to be able to open her door and say, 'This is my home.'" End of quote. Now, viewers, meanwhile, beneficiary and Virgin Gorda resident Mrs. Judy Ann Stevens expressed her gratitude at being able to move into her new home after receiving a grant which assisted in her rebuilding efforts after her home sustained major damages after the 2017 hurricanes. Now, the Hurricane Recovery Assistance Program is designed to help homeowners rebuild in the wake of hurricanes, Irma and Maria, in accordance with the provisions of the Virgin Islands Housing Recovery Policy and Hurricane Irma Recovery Plan. Kamal, I think, especially now that we are within the hurricane season still, I think every time that season circles around, it really serves as a sobering and just a sobering reminder that we have to be as prepared as possible. And so many persons are still in a position where they're still recovering and rebuilding from the atrocities of 2017 Hurricanes Irma and Maria. But outside of the government's effort, which is under this housing recovery program, of course, I vividly recall as I came across the story, combined efforts by the community that was initially started by philanthropist, entrepreneur, Mr. Gumption, Arlington Cricky. I recall him also being able to gift Mr. Andy a home just about a year and a half ago. And I think it reiterates the fact that, yes, government has a part to play, but I genuinely wish for us to mobilize and come together to assist one another, especially in times like these where our homes are prone to hurricanes and prone to, additional damages, and our lives may be at risk. So I'm really happy to see, and of course I congratulate Mrs. Stevens and all these stakeholders who played a role in this, and I encourage our weather community to play whatever roles they can as well.
Indeed, and congratulations to Miss Julianne Stevens. Well, viewers, up next, VG Bayside Blazers are the men's National District League basketball champions, while controversy leads to junior skillful ballers being awarded junior championships. And also we see Governor Rankin donating $500 to the BVI Cancer Society. We'll get to these stories when 284 News returns.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Now, His Excellency the Governor, Mr. John Rankin, CMG, has presented a check for $3,500 to the President of the BVI Cancer Society, Mrs. Gloria Foy, to assist the nonprofit organization in its efforts to support individuals undergoing treatment. Governor Rankin presented the funds from a fundraising movie showing at UP Cineplex last weekend that featured the recently released James Bond film, No Time to Die. Now, while making the presentation on October 8th, Governor Rankin thanked Mrs. Foy and the other members of the society for the work that they continue to do to benefit the community. The governor said, and I quote, "The Cancer Society certainly does a great amount of work for this community, and we must do all our parts to ensure that they are supported," end of quote. Viewers, Governor Rankin underscored the importance of having mammograms and, of course, encouraged early detection to mitigate the impact of the disease and what it has on the body. He said, and I quote, "Being the father of 2 daughters, I understand the importance of early detection, and I encourage women in our community to get their annual mammograms because these exams can truly save lives," end of quote. The president of the BVI Cancer Society, Mrs. Gloria Foy, thanked the governor for his support. She said that the efforts will assist greatly as the organization continues to provide assistance to the community. Mrs. Foy noted that while breast cancer is the most prevalent form of cancer in the Virgin Islands, other forms of cancer should not be overlooked. Kamal, we are in the midst, of course, of celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Clearly, a season where we get lots of awareness, and I am particularly pleased this year around to see so many stakeholders, so many government bodies, and even within the governor's office collaborating not only with corporate BVI, but with these nonprofit organizations to ensure that we are not only bringing about awareness, but we're also walking the talk. Clearly, lots of efforts have also been organized. We've seen walks and, of course, a month of activities planned. So I think in order for us to really stamp out these type of issues that we've known for generations, it really requires a collective effort. And it requires radical change. And I think keeping the awareness at the forefront is key. So I really do applaud this combined effort. And of course, continue to wish Mrs. Gloria Foy and her team all the best. And thank you guys for the work that you're doing.
Indeed. And every cent and every dollar counts, obviously, to this very important cause. Well, moving on, viewers, to our final story of the evening, where the VG Bayside Blazers are the BVI Basketball Federation's 2021 District League champions after completing a comprehensive 22-point victory against finalist A's. While playing in Game 4 of the 5-match series at the Multipurpose Sports Complex on Tortola on Friday, while VG Bayside Blazers led at the end of each quarter 23-15, 49-39, 75-60 to eventually win the game 98-76, taking the series 3-1. Before the Blazers, Cameron Telemaki, along with teammate Stefano Paul, collected a joint game-high 18 points, while Frank Kwashi finished close by with 16 points. But Telemaki also collected the most valuable player award, for his overall performance in the finalists, amassing a total of 55 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists, and 7 steals. But for A's, Javon Demings led with the charge with a joint game-high 18 points, while Juwan Richards and Shaquille Blackmore finished with 16 and 15 points respectively. Well, viewers, take a look at those highlights. Third quarter action, the VG Bayside Blazers leading the game by 15 points, up 75-60, and intent on extending that lead to seal the victory. Here, Gary Hillhouse adds 2 more. A's were down but kept the hope and pressed on. Here, Noah McKelly dissects the D and layup off the glass. But the Blazers kept their foot on the gas and their whole team were moving at the same level with one goal in mind. Exhibit A, Cameron Telemaki misses, but his teammate cleans up off the rebound. Telemaki was at the center of the Blazers' offense, here traveling from coast to coast without any infringement in his path as he lands the layup. And when the Blazers wasn't sinking the twos, they were bagging the threes. Here Stefano Paul hits nothing but net as he collected 18 points on the night. But A's did have a few highlights on the night, and Javon Demings was their star player in the game. Here he adds 2 of his team-high 18 points. But then there was a 3-point show, shot for shot with Telemaki, who also collected 18 points on the night, getting the ball rolling. Here he does it again, almost from the same spot from behind the arc. But A's Azim Beezer had seen enough and wanted part of the action, also showing range with a 3 of his own. But Telemaki switched it up and found a new spot to display his Curry-like shots, here bagging another 3 from the distance. And as the crowd was cheering on, Beezer had yet another response, finding his spot and hitting nothing but net in his 14 points on the night. But it was all VG Bayside Blazers who kept the pressure on throughout the entire game, winning the game by a massive 22-point margin and taking the 5-match series 3-1 to be the kings of the BVI Basketball Federation's 2021 District League. Meanwhile, in the junior division, Junior Skillful Ballers was awarded the championship after Junior VG Bayside Blazers forfeited, or shall I say abandoned the match for the 5th and decisive match on Saturday following a controversy over a late change of referees. Well, in the match, which was played on Friday, Junior Skillful Ballers pulled off a 12-point victory to level the series 2-2, while Kyron Walwyn collected a game-high double-double of 22 points and 13 rebounds with 8 blocks, 5 steals and 3 assists, while Carlick Benjamin followed with 19 points and 9 steals. Before junior VG Bayside Blazers, Tikwoy Richardson and Demron Glasgow both had a team-high double-double, with Richardson collecting 21 points and 11 rebounds, which also included 9 steals, and Glasgow finishing with 21 points and 18 steals. Well, viewers, obviously following the controversy, there was a back and forth as to what should happen with this match. And according to the BVA Basketball Federation, they're holding a press conference on Thursday to decide whether, what will be the end result, whether we'll see a rematch of that finals, or whether these decisions will stand to keep the junior skillful ballers as the champions of the junior league. Well, viewers, and that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes.
And my name is Javon Wilson. Have a good evening. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.